Welcome to Speaking Holistically, the podcast that explores the power of alternative medicine, natural healing, and homeopathic solutions to help you achieve true wellness. Each week, Dr. Jen and Amy G dive into the world of holistic health, discussing researched, time-tested remedies with expert insights from Dr. Jen, as well as real-life stories from patients to empower you to take charge of your health. So if you're ready to embrace a more natural path to wellness, let's start speaking holistically, because true healing begins from within. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Speaking Holistically. I'm your co-host, Amy G. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Dr. Jen, and we're doing a common health concerns episode on a new virus called the Nipah virus. Now, I know very little about this, so I'm going to be educated along with all of our listeners today.
Well, most of us know very little about it because it's supposedly not hit the United States yet, but it's actually under the heading of like a coronavirus type infection. So, of course, we knew another one was coming in 2025. It's been readily discussed on social media that another one was coming in 2025. So here it is, and it's the Nipah virus. It can cause a range of symptoms from mild to severe and even death. So common initial symptoms include fever, headaches, respiratory problems, cough, and sore throat, which sounds like every other common cold, right? Severe cases can progress into encephalitis, which is brain swelling and inflammation. It causes dizziness, drowsiness, confusion, seizures, and potentially a coma, obviously, if it gets bad enough. It is not in the United States as far as we know, and it is in, I believe it's over in Asia is where some of it's happening, or we're being told it's happening. So basically symptoms start to appear 4 to 14 days after exposure. And supposedly, I keep saying supposedly, allegedly, whatever, it's coming from fruit bats and pigs, and it's jumping species, which generally doesn't happen unless it's been messed with in a lab. So this Nipah virus has been discussed as far as it not being synthetic. So it hasn't been manufactured in a lab. Everything I've read say it's a natural virus, but natural viruses generally don't jump species to species. So I don't think we have too much to worry about. It can jump person to person once it gets there, but once again, are we going to run into our homes and lock our doors and do all this stuff? Or are we going to boost our immune system so we can handle it? That's why I have that product, Immune Boost, to help support the immune system so it can be bolstered enough to fight off some of the stuff that we're coming in contact with potentially. Cool. So anyway, symptoms typically appear within 4 to 14 days of exposure. So it says that the fatality rate is between 40 and 75%, which is pretty freaking high as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine somebody having these symptoms, and in severe cases, it can lead to a coma within 24 to 48 hours. So somebody's going to get the symptoms really quickly. Potentially, if they're going to die before they get any kind of treatment. But at the end of the day, once again, how far are you going to go with the symptoms? Are you going to take care of your immune system? Are you going to eat sugar? What are you going to do? The things like you would have done for coronavirus or anything else, don't eat sugar, don't eat dairy because it creates a lot of mucus and stuff like that. You want to take care of your immune system.
Yeah.
And it'll take care of you. So the one thing I think is funny or interesting about these viruses is that generally I tell people to go Google or look up or research or whatever and just put in the word buy, B-U-Y, like you're buying something in front of any of these viruses, like in front of the names of them, and see if you can buy them somewhere. So with a Nipah virus, you can buy it. I found it for $604, but as long as you promise that it's only intended for research and not for human therapeutic or diagnostic applications. So remember years ago, we had Zika. Zika was going to kill everyone, pregnant women, all these other things, right? Well, go look up Buy Zika. Go look it up. I think you're going to find it really interesting. I had Amy look it up before we got on the podcast. And Amy, pray tell, what did you find?
I found that I could, if I wanted to, buy the Zika virus for $488.
And who deposited it? The virus.
That was a little bit, yeah. So I went down to see additional product information on the page, and then I went down to history, and I just clicked on the plus sign to expand it, and it says the Rockefeller Foundation.
They deposited the virus, and it was in 1947. Am I right? Is that what it says?
Yes.
A Ugandan rhesus monkey or
Mhm.
sentinel monkey.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a rhesus monkey.
Yeah. So it's just interesting. All these things that we're afraid of, we can literally buy online. Like you're going to Amazon. So start looking this stuff up. If it's that scary, maybe look to see who deposited it. Maybe look to see who owns that virus. Maybe look to see follow a trail if you can find one. And I'm not saying anything by it. I'm just saying you might want to kind of open your eyes and see what's actually happening. Supposedly the Nipah virus is natural, like we just talked about. There are synthetic viruses that are constructed in the laboratory, often with the goal of vaccine development or research into viral mechanisms. So it's interesting that you can look this stuff up about natural viruses versus synthetic viruses. And one example that's given, or two examples that are given of viruses that have been synthesized, include the polio virus and the 1918 influenza virus. So start looking some of these things up, see where it takes you, see what you need to learn about it. But instead of being afraid and running into your house and never coming out again, maybe look some of the stuff. But I always encourage people to do something to boost their immune systems on a daily basis because of all the stuff we're constantly being exposed to.
I was shocked that I could buy a virus. I'll be honest with you, that's never even occurred to me. I didn't even think that was possible. So seeing it, that I can just add it to my cart. Yeah, I know, seriously. I was like, wait, what? When you're like, oh, look this up, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can buy it. I can buy it. Why would I want to buy it? Why is it being sold? I don't understand. I'm so flabbergasted by it.
For research purposes, promise you're only going to use it for research.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like my mind, if I twist it around and think like a murderer or a criminal or something, can't you just buy it and inject somebody with it? And then like I'm gonna.
Why are you giving people ideas?
I mean, well, I'm just like, why would people buy it unless you're sinister? Why are you buying it? If it just,
I don't know.
yeah, and if it's going to be for research purposes, then I would think there'd be some kind of backdoor channel for researchers to buy it that's not visible to the public, that's not accessible by the public. So, and that's not the case. So for me, it's like, well, why is this just on the open market for anybody to buy? I'm just flabbergasted by that. I really am.
Well, and I just tell people, look, just go look this stuff up. I'm not saying anything by it. I'm not saying that someone's using it for evil. I'm just saying, look it up, because I think you're going to be a little bit surprised about some of the stuff that you find, about who's deposited the virus, where it came from, what year it came from, and how long it's been sitting there. So, I mean, we had Zika, 10 years ago or something like that, maybe a little bit more, where people were nervous about traveling, especially going south, going to, it was like Ecuador or something. It was going south, right? And they were all nervous about going to Central America and South America because of the Zika virus. And especially if you're pregnant, you're going to lose your baby and all these crazy things. And, it's been sitting in some sort of storage since 1947. And it was pulled out potentially. I don't know where else it would have come from, especially down in South America, Central America, when it was found in Uganda. So, right. Yeah. So that's kind of a hop, skip, and a jump, and 70 years, 80 years later. So just start looking at some of the stuff, and I think you're going to find it really interesting. So instead of being fearful, start digging. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying anything by it. I just am saying do some research, and some of the stuff that you find won't make things so scary. Get the facts, right?
Yeah, get the facts, geez, and just know that you could put it in your cart like you're shopping on Amazon, which is, that's just not something I never would have guessed that. I don't even understand the purpose of having it like that. People can buy viruses. Oh my God, what is happening? So,
I literally just had her look this up, and then we started recording, and she's like, I've never seen Amy speechless, and she's like literally almost speechless. She always has something to say.
I'm still processing. Yes. I'm just in shock. I think our listeners are going to be equally shocked, because I don't think anyone in their right mind is like, oh, I can just stick a virus in my cart and like have it around my house. But
you got to keep it frozen, otherwise it's going to die. Kind of similar to coronavirus, huh? It's kind of similar to the SARS-19, right? It has to stay frozen, otherwise it's rendered unusable. So it's just interesting. Start looking through the stuff. So get some information on the Nipah. Don't freak out about it. boost your immune system, not just for that, but for anything that comes your way. You have no idea what you're going to be exposed to, by whom, and from what fruit bat or what pig you're being exposed to. And once again, most viruses do not jump species to species. It just doesn't happen. It's not supposed to happen unless something has been altered genetically.
That makes sense. Wow. Well, thank you, Dr. Jen. This was obviously a mind-blowing episode for me. Everyone got to watch my mind being blown live. So that's, but thank you for sharing that with us and helping kind of quell our fears. Do your homework, folks. Do your research. Use the internet for good and find some information that will help you and your family. Thanks, everybody, for listening. If you haven't joined our school community before, I'll put the link in the show notes below. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye. That wraps up another episode of Speaking Holistically. Thank you for listening. We hope today's conversation gave you new insights and inspiration to take charge of your health. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more, be sure and join the Speaking Holistically school community by clicking the link in the show notes. There, you'll get access to daily podcast episodes, weekly live Q&As, educational content, and so much more. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, be well, stay curious, and keep speaking holistically.